I've now got the Wurlitzer Studio upright piano moved into the living room, and I repaired the piano action. I took the action out of the cabinet and repaired some problems where some of the metal pins had fallen out of parts of the mechanism. Now what I'm going to do is a little tuning. Now of course I'm not a professional piano tuner, so I'm not going to tune the whole thing. It's pretty close to A440 pitch, and I probably will have the piano tuner come out and give it a good tuning. But what I'm going to do is just fix up some notes that are really far out of tune for some reason. First thing I'm going to do is to take the front cover off of the piano. Usually they all kind of fit the same way. There's some things up at the top at each side that attach the front, and then it usually just lifts off. Now I've got my tuning tools here. I've got the tuning hammer. I've got a pitch pipe. Should have some tuning forks in here. I got a C and an A tuning fork, and I've got some mutes and also some felt mutes to tune the entire piano. I actually have tried to tune an entire piano before and was somewhat successful. I did it on the Camping Company piano that was in here that's now out of the barn. But here I'll just try and improve some notes that are really far out of tune, like this one. This E, for instance. Now on the piano strings, most of the notes in the piano have either 2 or 3 strings per note, and so if they're not all tuned together, that's where you get the trashy sounding notes. I'll listen to this note here, and that note sounds pretty good. I can even get my pitch pipe out here, and we'll set it to E here and see. It's not perfectly in tune, but it's pretty close. So what I'll do is I'll just tune this trashy sounding E up to this good E. There's probably just one string in the 3-string group which has gone out of tune. I want to see which string group it is, and I'm going to put the mute in and just mute the bottom one and see what it sounds like. Now I'll mute the top one and get my other mute here. Mute the top one. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. That'll be the center string there. So just get the tuning wrench here. See which one of these it is. I think it's this one here. What you're listening for is that there's no beats. If it's out of tune, you can hear a wavering in the sound that gets faster the more out of tune it is. See there, it's a little bit too sharp. And you got to kind of turn the tuning wrench a little bit further than the actual point of 0 beat, so that when it settles down, it'll settle down into tune. So I'm going to turn it just a little bit sharp. Okay, now I'll get mute off of the top string in the 3-string group, and we'll see what that sounds like. It's a little bit out of tune. That's going to be the bottom tuning pin here. That's now in tune. I'll put the mute in the top one now, and I'll check the middle against the bottom string in the 3-string unison, see what it sounds like. Yeah, that's a little bit sharp. Let's check all 3. that's not perfect. That's a lot better than it was. Let's see if there's another note. I'll go through here and see if there's any other notes that I can fix. But that's the general procedure of how you can really improve some bad notes. But you want to make sure you use the right tools. Only use piano tuning hammers on the tuning pins, because other things like sockets can round off the tuning pins and make it hard for the proper tool to do the job.